welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be breaking down and reacting to Evil, Season 3, Episode 10, Demon of the End. Now I have to jump right into this because my memory is fading fast. So we pick up pretty much where we left off with last week's episode. We have a rather large gathering at the bottom of the staircase where Monsignor is still laying. A lot of people are praying, a lot of people are crying. David struggles to get through the crowd, and we do see Sister Andrea crying. She's very, very upset. He then runs to see Grace, who is shocked at what has happened. She says that she thought he was coming for her, not Monsignor. And we find out that Grace is to be taken to the Vatican for protection. Now, when Grace says this whole thing about she thought that he was coming for her and not Monsignor, I don't quite get that, because it was made very, very clear to the audience that Leland was there for Grace. Monsignor just got in the way, right? So I don't really understand that. But anywho, that is what she says. Monsignor's longtime friend and love arrives, weeping over his body, that being Father Ignatius. Ignatius, I think is how you pronounce it. We heard Monsignor say to Grace, please tell Ignatius that he said love him, but he didn't get all of it out because he died, but that's what he said. It was very clear. Then we see Leland, who is listening to country music while squeezing out Monsignor's blood into a bucket. He's got like a whole bunch of it, like it looks like a big towel or something. I don't know. And then he goes to bed. And it's a little suggestive on what he may or may not be doing. Just saying. Father Ignatius is ready to get right back to work. Kristen asks after him, and he is devastated and heartbroken. He is also very committed. He says that, Matt, Monsignor, would have wanted them to work twice as hard, right? We can be sad later, but right now there is work to do. Giddy up, right? We ride. It seems that he will be their new assessment manager. The first case that he pulls is actually Kristen's neighbor in the house adjoined to hers. Miss Gibson answers the door. The trio go over. She is shocked to see Kristen at the door. They had sort of met in passing, as neighbors do, and of course, she felt silly phoning these assessors, right, getting the church involved in weird going-ons in the house, and she just kind of felt it double extra odd that, her neighbor happens to be one of these assessors and is now assessing her, right? Understandable. It would be weird. Sheila says they started recording things about 2 weeks ago. To be clear, Sheila is Miss Gibson, sorry. It's the noise from her toilet. You're hearing it from many directions, and it sounds quite frightening, growling and weird stuff like that. The final place they visit is said to have had blood coming out of their faucet like a month ago. I think that was in the kitchen. Maybe that was in the bathroom too. I don't remember. But yeah, they couldn't get the blood on video, but they said that blood was coming out of their faucet like a month back. Once Sheila reveals the eyeball in her toilet, both Kristen and Ben have things to share with David and each other. Going back to the secrets, things that happen that they don't tell each other about. This is what Kristen was all worked up about last week. 2 weeks ago now, whatever it was, when she said she felt all fucked over. Ben admits he has seen the eyeball, right? When he was snaking Kristen's toilet, an eyeball, bloop, right? And David wonders if it's from Kristen's place or Sheila's. Andy never told Kristen about the shrunken head, right? So Kristen doesn't know, because she had an incident of blood in one of her faucets too. And then, of course, she doesn't know about the shrunken head, so she doesn't understand that, right? The blood, and then, like, there's no correlation. And then Ben, of course, never told her about the eyeball. He just kind of booked it the fuck out, right? When she's in the girls' room, Kristen goes home and she goes checking through the girls' room. The girls all come in at once, and she wants them to clean the room or they cannot have the video call with their dad. They're expecting their dad to be video calling in like 30 minutes, right? Lynn says that Laura hears scary things from the neighbor too, right? Like, the girls can't figure out why all of a sudden they have to clean their room and all this stuff, right? Kristen's just completely amazed at how clean this neighbor's house is and whatever, and so she kind of wants her house to be like that too. Good luck with 4 preteen girls running around. Oh, good Lord. But, you know, she's asking the girls, like, are you making sounds through the walls? Like, are you playing with the neighbor kids or whatever? Like, what's going on? And Laura's like, they keep hearing these ooh-woo noises through the walls coming from the neighbors, right, into their walls. And Laura says that when she's not scared, right, Laura will say, like, you ain't scaring me. The girl says to go to the kitchen and get a glass, and she'll make it break. Kristen wants to get to the bottom of this, so she takes a cake over to Sheila's, right? She's gonna go over empty-handed. You gotta have an excuse, right? That's when Kristen finds out that Sheila does not have a daughter. But never mind that now, because it's time for the video call with Andy. Cheryl walks in, preparing to say how sorry she is for their loss. Edward answers the phone, and he delivers the bad news after Kristen shuffles the girls out of the room, right? Like, as soon as the call gets picked up and Kristen sees that it's Edward, basically she sees it's not her husband, right? And she, as that's happening simultaneously, Cheryl's coming up the stairs like, hey, I'm here, right? And Kristen's like, everybody out. So Cheryl takes the girls all downstairs, right? He tells Kristen that Andy died in an R3 avalanche. Meanwhile, Laura says that Andy isn't dead because Grace said he would be back on Thursday night. Cheryl tries to rally them to pizza, right? Never mind, girls, we're getting pizza. Never mind, Dad, we get pizza. But they want to try contacting Leland. As Edward's just like piling on thick about what happened and how brave Andy was, and he saved all these people and he's a hero and la 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 la, right? Going on about the money and all this kind of shit. However, Lexus is a very smart cookie, and she knows that Leland is behind the whole thing. So when they start talking to Leland, you can hear the pings in the background with Edward, right? So they're like, Lexus gets on the that app that they were playing on, and she starts pinging the hell out of Leland, right? Well, you can hear it through Kristen's computer in her room. Lexus like, ah, yes, gotcha. Cheryl says that the girls are on to him, and Leland just laughs uncontrollably after dropping Andy's feet on the ground. He and Edward are dragging him elsewhere. They start singing about kids and spin around and take Andy back into like a little room. Kristen doesn't believe the girls. She's on the phone with David. And there isn't any news of an avalanche, and none of her climbing friends have heard anything. Why Kristen doesn't believe the girls, I don't know. But she's not even entertaining the idea. David tells Kristen that sometimes even pretending to believe in God is comforting, because as she's on the phone with David, they're talking about the whole God thing and whatever. And she says, listen, I don't believe, right? Like, he's going on about how he wants to come over and pray with her and whatever. She says, I don't believe. And he says, listen, sometimes pretending is comforting enough. Like, fake it till you make it, right? As David kneels to pray for Andy, because Kristen actually asked him to pray for Andy, Demon Kristen starts annoying David. When he screams for her to get out, Sister Andrea is nearby and hears him screaming. Laura has a cute little chat with Ben, too. She comes out, she can't sleep, and Ben says to her, do you know what I do when I can't sleep? And she says, no, what do you do? He says, I don't sleep. It's totally something I would say to my kids. So she goes and gets blankets and a great big pillow, and she makes herself a little bed and lays down. He's sitting on some little couch or whatever outside the girls' room. I don't know. But she makes this little bed in front of him, and she kind of lays down. They're chitty-chatting a little bit, right? He's so good with those girls. He's a sweetheart. We love Ben. We see that Kristen has taken up praying. She's praying when there's a knock at the door, and she flies down the stairs, hoping her prayers have been answered. But it's David, letting him know that they'll be next door. The next knock at the door is Andy, and Kristen is just over the moon. Andy seems to have no idea what happened or why Edward said he was dead. When he looks at Grace's drawing, the drawing that she had done this drawing, I can't remember if I mentioned it in last week's, but she did this drawing of the strange room that he was kept in with all the glass thingies on the shelf and whatever. Grace Lynn had drawn that, and for some reason it was on the fridge in the kitchen there. Yeah, so when he looks at Grace's drawing, Andy remembers, or at least for a moment, memories come flooding back, and then he falls to the ground. Kristen and the girls all kind of, whisk him up, and maybe you should go take a nap. And he said, yeah, I'm fine. The doctor said that this might happen. La, la, la. Clumsy me. La, la, la. Right? And as they take him upstairs, Cheryl goes and erases the drawing off the fridge. At some point, Kristen does walk in on Cheryl and Andy as they are in the kitchen chitty-chatting. And they actually hug. Andy goes and hugs Cheryl. Like they're speaking civilly to each other. They don't do that. I don't think we've ever seen Andy and Cheryl speak civilly to each other. They're always sniping at each other, calling each other names, and Andy's telling her to get the fuck out. You know, they hug. Like he goes in and he hugs her and she reciprocates. Of course, she's faking everything. And I don't know what's up with Andy, but that's friggin' weird. And Kristen thinks it's weird too. It's all over her face. She is so confused. Sister Andrea knocks at David's door with a mosquito net because she had overheard him yelling before when Demon Kristen was in his room. She heard him yelling to go away and whatever. And she knows that there's something in there with him, right? She's known for a while. She'd walked in and seen something. He was on the floor and there was something like a mosquito, right? And it had its little thing and it was like, I don't know, sucking stuff out of David, his energy or whatever. People keep saying that David looks tired. So Sister Andrea brings him this great big mosquito net for him to hang up to cover his bed, essentially, right? And he's looking at like a fucking mosquito net. And she's like, humor me. Just do it. Just don't ask questions. Just do it. Kristen wakes to an empty bed. She finds Andy in the addition that they're having built, just standing there. She thinks he's like sleepwalking or something. He says he's trapped, and when they look to the left, there's a phrase written on the wall. And, you know, it appears to be in another language, so they don't know what it says. They end up having Sister Andrea over because her being a nun, she can read all these obscure languages, right? So she reads the wall to them. And as they're all standing around and, you know, Sister Andrea is knee-deep in deciphering wall code, the girls all come home from school, and Sister Andrea's like, what the hell is that? Like, is that stampede? She wants to check over the house, and so she starts with the garage. When they go into the garage, and I do believe it's Lynn goes with her or ends up following her in there. She ends up following her in there. So she goes into the shed, garage, whatever, and finds Cheryl's demon hanging around in there. The one that was sitting up by the head of her bed the one time, Andy saw it. Andy walked in on it, I think. And Sister Andrea beats it to death with a shovel. It is hilarious. Lynn comes in wanting to talk about being a nun. And Sister Andrea is just smashing demons that only she can see, right? And Lynn is just kind of running with it. Like, we see her smash like 3 or 4 demons. And each time she's beating the hell out of these demons with the shovel, we then switch from our point of view of seeing the demon to Lynn's point of view where Sister Andrea is just beating the fuck out of the ground, right? But yet going on about demons. Lynn's like, okay, this is what we're doing. There are demons all over the place. Like they go through the garage and there's the one. They go in the house and I think there was like 3 more kind of all over the house. Yeah. While Lynn talks about wanting a mission in her life since she doesn't feel the same as the other girls her age, right? That can't talk about anything other than fashion or boys or whatever, right? 6 more demons run outside in fear of our mighty sister Andrea. And I'm positive one of them was George. I'm positive. Andrea says the demon she sees in David's room is a mosquito, and using the net is the only way to keep it from sucking the life out of him. So like I was saying before, she brings him this mosquito net, and you know, he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the assignment. And she does break it down to him, like I said, saying that, you know, saying the demon is a type of mosquito. It's like a demonic mosquito, literally sucking the life out of him, right? Like, mosquitoes drink blood, and this thing essentially is the same idea. It's like life, right? David's so cute. He's like, after all the stuff about Kristen's egg, the news comes that her egg is still out there. So the couple in last week's episode, where the husband ex-nayed the wife and removed, right? That was not Kristen's egg. That was somebody else's. They did like a DNA thing on it, and it was not hers. Hers is still out there somewhere. And she gets a business address for the anonymous sale. So whoever it was that like sold the egg. Kristen cannot believe that Lynn wants to talk to Sister Andrea and responds with "the fuck you are," as she refuses to allow one of her daughters to fall into the religion wheel, right? Like she says something to the effect of, you know, if you want to dye your hair or pierce or get a tattoo or pierce something, we can talk about it, but the fuck you're gonna join the nunnery. Like, and poor Lynn's just standing there like, oh, I just want to talk to her. Like, the poor kid. Yeah, Kristen gets really wacky sometimes. I don't. Father Ignatius doesn't believe in God so much. He doesn't think that we are reunited with loved ones at the end of life. He lied to Monsignor about what he saw when he died. Like, Monsignor had asked him, when Ignatius had his experience, when he died and came back, Monsignor asked him what he saw, and he said that he saw God and blah, 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 right? He tells David, no, that's not the case. I lied. Like, I lied to comfort my friend. He did not. He says he saw nothing. And one of the things that he had been talking to David about in that episode where he died, Ignatius, he does mention that he has struggled with the priesthood and whatever, much like David, right? On a slightly grander level, because he was gay and in love with a fellow priest, right? I was really kind of hoping we would have more of those two in a storyline, because I found that to be absolutely fascinating, but sadly. David gets back to his room to find Kristen. First, he tells her he's not interested, and then he fondles her face. It's so awkward. Like, he's getting to where he can't tell Demon Kristen from Kristen, right? And she just kind of showed up in his room, so I kind of get it, I guess. But she was not in her traditional school uniform, as Demon Kristen usually is. And Kristen is very taken aback, let me tell you. She's like, what are you doing, sir? Awkward. It's only when she asks, what is he doing, that David realizes that it's actually Kristen. Yeah, it's awkward as fuck. They discuss how much they miss each other and how they started the year on the wrong foot. Kristen stopped believing in God when she prayed continuously that her parents not get divorced. She is freaked out by having her prayer for Andy's return answered. She wonders if she's supposed to believe something that she can't believe in. But she promised God that if Andy came home, she would take the girls to Mass every Sunday. And that she did say. Like it's not like she did like a quiet prayer. She put that out into the ether. She spoke the words. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't like religious people other than David, she says. I like you. You're fine. You're not one of them. You're not like the other ones. He tells Kristen a story about a man who prayed for a parking space, promising to change his life if he got one. The guy says, never mind, once a space opens up. And Kristen's like, are you saying that that's what I should do? Like, never mind, it's fine. He's here, it's fine, forget it. Right. And David's like, well, do you want me to tell you what you should think? Like, that's not how this works. Free will and all. David puts up the mosquito net and Demon Kristen pouts outside. It is so cute. He puts up the net as like a barrier around his bed and he sleeps like a baby. And Demon Kristen just kind of stand there like... Kristen calls Andy about making a doctor's appointment. When they hang up, he hears noises and leaves to investigate. Kristen goes to DF, the address of her egg, and also the trading thing, where the creepy demon thing was following people from in the last one, and we sort of alluded to it being the place where Leland and Cheryl work. The crypto resale, whatever fucking place. Yeah, that one. Andy keeps looking for the source of the noise, which takes him to the wipe-off board, which Cheryl cleaned off, right? He looks out into the addition with a strange look on his face. Meanwhile, Kristen is shocked to find her mother working at DF. In addition, there are about a dozen demons around the demon baby, which is in a cradle. This is what Kristen has walked in on, by the way. And the demon in the cradle is the one that she saw in her dream that she breastfed and swaddled in the kitchen. Yeah. One of the demons is Cheryl's boss. Kurt is there and calls the baby beautiful. David gets a vision. He's been praying. He gets a vision of like this beautiful, I think it's an angel. She says 38 days. Woe to Babylon. I don't know what that means. Kristen is shocked to see that they are celebrating a woman's pregnancy. Back at this office, like this very pregnant woman comes in and everybody's like, they got like presents. It's like a baby shower. It's Leland's baby, and looking directly at Kristen, like directly at Kristen, he says, we are going to be parents. And then, I've mentioned this before, there is this contemporary book of demons. We see it usually somewhere in the opening of the show. And we've seen it a couple of times actually in the show. Cheryl is the one, I believe, who brought it into Kristen's house for the girls to read. Anyways, at the very, very end, we see the book close and angels are revealed. Out steps the angel that David saw when he was praying. It's interesting. Like it closes and it kind of inverts and flips over. And so half the book is the demons, half the book is the angels, apparently. Very interesting. I thought that was interesting. This was a lot. Like, things are getting complicated. Unbelievable. It was good. I enjoyed it. But it was actually one of those where I was like leaned in the entire time I was watching it. It was crazy. This show is getting batshit, and I'm here for it. So now we know Boggs is now creepy. He is right there with Cheryl, right? They're creepy as fuck. We cannot trust them. And Kristen now knows that Cheryl never left Leland because that was the condition of her being able to be around the kids again, was that she wasn't to be around Leland, right? Yeah. So I'm hoping she rethinks the whole thing about the girls telling her that Leland was responsible for whatever is going on with Andy, right? Andy, also, the thing about the doctor, Kristen knows. She knew then that there was something weird going on with Boggs, right? Because of the muse thing. She caught him singing and whatever. She was to pull out Boggs' business card, right? Because he was like her go-to shrink, right? Somebody needs to talk. She sent them to Boggs, and she's like, I'll call around and find somebody. Like, yeah, I think she's done with Boggs. I don't think she'll be going to see him anymore either. I don't know. We'll see. Because he wanted her, I think it was in the last episode. He wanted her back on a weekly basis. So I don't know. We'll see. This was a lot. And I love that Sister Andrea is getting more action in this. I'm hoping, because we only have, this is the end of season 3. We have one more season, and I think there's 10 episodes to that one as well. I can't remember. I went and looked earlier. I don't remember. I think there's only 10 to that one too. So we need to start wrapping shit up. If this is one of those shows that just sort of ends and it doesn't wrap anything up because they thought they were coming back for another season, I'm gonna be friggin' pissed. But we'll see. I predict that through season 4, Sister Andrea is going to be our resident demon hunter. I think she's going to start cleaning house and kicking ass, chewing bubblegum, and then taking the names. Just saying. Yay, Sister Andrea. I enjoyed this. I hope y'all enjoyed this with me. As always, I will link in the description where you can watch. Always go and watch it on your own in full without my commentary. There is so much that I did not get into. There was a lot in this. And I tried to kind of break it up a little bit, but I don't know. There was a lot. I hope it was coherent. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.